Hello, everyone. This is the second part of the SpaceScape instructions. So I just want to jump into it now. So I just told you last time that I was going to figure out how to compose my planets. So I spent some time and I arranged them like this, but you can arrange your planets any way. You can have your Earth, the biggest if you want. So basically, the only thing that you need to do as far as like a formula is the planets that are closer to you, closer to the viewer, are going to be bigger. And then the planets, as they go away, get smaller. So that's really the only rule that you have to follow. And however you want to place them is up to you. Okay. So I have them all arranged like this, and I wanted to talk to you about some things before I close all this up. So in my nebula folder, I added some additional color. So I just basically just made a new layer, and then I added some reds to it. So you can just sort of see here, and it sort of brightened that up a little bit. So you can basically add an additional layer to your nebula group or your nebula folder, and you can change those colors. Okay, so that's what it looks like without. That's what it looks like with. Okay, I'm just going to close that. I actually made these into groups too, so that way I have more room over here. Okay, and then the planets I made with you last time. Basically, actually, I'll go ahead and undo this so I can show you how to group them. Okay, so I wanted to put all of my planets in a group because I have way too many layers opened up and I'm going to make a lot more. So I wanted to put all of these in one group. So in order to make a group, you need to select your top layer and then come down, hold down the shift key, and then select all of the layers that you want to group. So all of them are selected, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to, well, you can group them, or you can just do Command G. Oh, actually, no, I don't. Hold on. So Command G. Okay. And then I'm just going to call this my planets. Okay. Okay, so now I have my planet, so I have everything pretty much made. And now I'm going to make a composite. So you have everything on. I'm going to do Shift, Option, Command, and E. And there's my composite. So if I turn everything off underneath, you know that everything is all on one layer. And I'm going to make many composites because I want to just try a bunch of things out. So I'm going to do Command J, and then I'm just going to call this 1. And I'm just going to call this 2, and then I'm just going to call this 3. So that way I have 3 different things I'm working on. Okay, so I'm just going to start with 1 here. So my composite 1, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to do a lighting effect. So I'm going to go to Filter, Render, and Lighting Effect. And remember when we did this a long, long time ago, I showed you that there's 3 forms of lights. There's the spotlight, and then this is the point light, and then this is the infinite light. So I usually just use the spotlight when I'm doing this. So I'm actually going to make a new light so you can sort of see how to do it. So this one is right here. I'm going to actually make a new light right here. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to delete that one. So that way you see that I only have 1 here. Okay, I'm going to position, like how do I want my light to go? Where do I want it? So I'm just going to move it around, sort of play around with maybe what makes sense to my project. So right now I'm telling the viewer that all of my light source is coming from the right side, right? Because here's my light and here's my shadow. So it would make sense for me to put this light over here and not over here, okay? So I am going to probably make it a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can stretch this out. Why can't I stretch this out? That's strange. Oh, there it goes. Okay, well, okay, I'm just going to have it maybe like that. I don't know. Okay, and then once I have this placed, I am going to show you over here. So basically, I can come here and I can bring more. Wait, this is acting strange. Well, maybe I'll just come over here. I can move the intensity up over here. And then don't forget about your ambience. Well, if you turn it way down, you don't get much. So sort of do something like that. Oh gosh. Just trying to show you. I'm just going to sort of go extreme here, and maybe I'm going to make this 2 instead of 1. Oh gosh. No, not 12. Hello, 2. Okay, and what else do I want to do with this? Right now it's set to white, so, oh, I know. The intensity, you can move the intensity up here. And then the color on the background is what, if you want everything to be a different color. So you can choose different colors as well. Okay. And I have that now. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. Okay, so if I turn that off, oh gosh, let me turn these other ones on. Okay, let me go ahead and turn these on. Okay, so let me turn those off. So if I turn that on, it looks like that. Okay, so that's a composite with lighting, composite with a certain lighting effect. So I'm just going to come over here and call that composite with a lighting effect. Okay. And then what I would probably do with that, in addition to that, I would then go ahead and add a lens flare. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Filter, render, and a lens flare on top of that. And I probably would place it somewhere where my light source is, maybe on the edge here, and something like that. So now there's an additional light source. Okay, so if I turn that off, it looks like that. That's how the original was. And then I changed it to that with just doing a render lighting effect and a lens flare. Okay, and then I want to show you another way to do lighting is if I go to this composite here, I actually thought about how much, how much I love these star effects. The reason why I love the star effects is because of this bright white right here. And I thought, what would it look like if I added that to it? So I'm going to drag this in and I am going to see what I can do with that. Okay, so I'm basically going to sort of do the same thing. I'm going to keep my light source on the right-hand side. Okay, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my blend mode and I'm going to come down to overlay, soft light, let's see, screen and lighten. I don't know. Maybe I might want to do that. Do I want maybe I want to do screen. Let's see, lighten. Okay, I'll do screen. Okay, and now I have it here. So now, of course, this is a little intense. So in order for me not to make this look crazy, I have to put a vector mask on here. And I don't want to have all these rays all over the place because it's too distracting. So I'm going to make black my foreground color, grab my soft round brush, bring my opacity way down, and I'm going to just start painting. Remember, I'm painting over here in my mask, and I'm just getting rid of some of this and just sort of seeing what would happen if I did this. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is how I'm going to go, but I just wanted to see what would happen if I did do something like that. Let's see, I can move this around. It's not bad. Let me get my paintbrush and then maybe get rid of some of that, but it's not horrible. Sort of, I mean, if you want something quite bright and shocking and sort of, creating a focal point, I sort of like that actually. So, you might find bringing one of your star effects into your Spacescape might be interesting. Okay. And then what I'm going to do after that, I think I might actually, do I want to do a lens flare on top of that as well? I don't know. Actually, maybe I'll just go ahead and let's see what happens. If I go filter, render, lens flare, and let's see, do I want to do something here? I don't know. Just sort of playing around with it. Well, it's not great, but maybe I'm going to undo that. I don't like that. So I think I'll just keep it like that. Okay, but you can play around with the lens flares if you want. I don't have enough time to do that, but that is quite an interesting effect. So I wanted to talk to you about that. Okay, so let me go back up here again. And like I said, you can probably find something very interesting. Just remember that in order for this to look like it doesn't like that you want it to belong there, remember you have to make this mask and brush away anything that you don't want. Okay, so that's a quite an interesting effect like that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. This is going to be called composite with star effect. And I might actually, let's see if I can do Command E. So I'm just going to merge that down. Okay, so now we have the first one is this one here, and then that one is with that one. And then this last third one here, I am going to show you all the different things that you can do with your blending options. So if you come here, you right click and you go to blending options and you go to a gradient overlay. You can do lots of lighting effects with the gradient overlay. You can do a black and white effect here. So I just have in my gradient, I chose black and white, and then I went here, and then I have soft light selected, and I have radial selected, and basically I'm just going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to move this. And so as I move it, I'm going to bring my opacity up so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so you can see that I'm moving it around and it looks like I have a lighting effect just from the filter. So I'm liking that as well, and that's quite an easy lighting effect right there. So I have a black and white gradient. It's set to radial. I have it set to soft light, and you can play around with all of that. Click OK. And what else do I want to do? So that's, if I turn off that effect, it looks like that. If I turn it back on, it looks like that. So I do like that. I'm also going to go ahead and let's see what else I can do. I'm going to double click in my effects. I'm going to go here and see. Well, I wanted to do a different gradient overlay to show you. So I think what I'll do is I'll just click OK here. I think what I'll do is make a duplicate copy. So Shift, Option, Command, and E. And well, actually I made a composite. So now with that composite, now I can right click and go down to blending options. And I just wanted to show this to you. So I want to do another gradient overlay. Let's see what I can come up with. I'm just trying to be somewhat creative with this. Not quite sure. Let's see how this looks. So, I mean, you can try many different options here. What would it look like? Definitely changes it, doesn't it? So you guys can sort of play around with it, but a gradient overlay is a great place to go. Right now, this is set to radial. What happens if I make it linear? What happens if I go do something like that? So you can see that, and then I can always go through all of these as well, all these different blend modes. What does multiply look like? Awfully dark. So I think I probably would be staying, well, that's interesting. And you guys can play around with all the different effects here, okay? And then if the opacity is too strong, you can bring it down some and have some fun with doing different blending options. So that's I changed the color of it. So that's also another idea. And then what I'm going to also do is come back down. I'm going to actually make a new composite that doesn't have anything on it yet. So I'm going to come back down here, Shift, Option, Command, and E, and I want to show you one more thing. So if I come to this is all just the original composite, come down here to my color lookup. Remember color lookup. This is for your computers in the classroom because we don't have the new version yet, but you can come through here. Oh gosh, what's happening? Let me do something better. And you can go through and see what you like. There's some interesting effects like that as well. Okay, so don't forget color lookup. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to turn that one off, and I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to come back down here and show you. I show you this all the time. I'm going to go back to my gradient. Because now I'm in my adjustment layer icon, and I'm going to come here, and I'm going to do my two colors that I always pretty much show you. And I'm just going to, let's just keep the colors down like this. Let's just do that. And then hit OK. And then I'm going to come up here, go to overlay. So, and you can scroll through all these and see what you come up with. Soft light looks like that. Overlay looks like that. And then if it's too much for me, I'll bring the opacity down some. Okay. What else do I want to do with you? Oh, I know. And now if you have your Photoshop version at home, then you can do this because this is the 2019 version. So you can come up here, go to filter, come down and go to camera raw filter. This is what I was showing you that I love doing this. And if you have the new version, you can come here. So if you come down here to the presets, you can scroll through all of these and see what you like. And it really gives you some really nice, great options. And I love scrolling through here. So you can only do this if you're working at home and you have the 2019 version. And hopefully we'll get them on our classroom computers soon. Okay, so I'm just going to come up here. Let's see what high contrast and detail looks like. I'll just click on that, hit OK, and you can see that that's what that looks like. So if I turn those on, you can see what high contrast and detail looks like. So anyway, bottom line, I want you to just have fun and try everything out. And, the more that you try out, the better you're going to get to know the program. And then the more fun you're going to have down the road when we get to doing some, movie posters and some more complex things. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Go ahead and after you're satisfied with your color effects, then go ahead and you're going to file. You're going to make sure you first save it as a PSD file, and then you're going to then file export and then do a quick export as a PNG and then submit it in Google Classroom. Okay, so bottom line, have fun and do something amazing. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Okay, bye.